In episode 7, I spoke to distress, and in the gratitude series, episode 2, I shared a lot of statistics, post-pandemic statistics, that speak to the mental health, not of all people around the world, but also, and in a very granular way, about today's youth. It's a common question that comes up in workshops more than ever before. How do I know if someone's in trouble? There are obviously a lot of resources out there. And so in matters of seriousness and in the workplace, there's obviously channels and conduits through which to chase those kind of questions out and run them aground. But I do want to equip you with just a handful of the kinds of behaviors that we see in individuals who are increasingly distressed in perhaps their personal life and how that manifests in their work life, or just generally distressed at work because of work, because work can be stressful. So let's look at some of these signs of distress. One of the first levels, if you will, is what I would call interaction mismanagement. So this is externally obvious. I wouldn't use the word superficial because it's not particularly just superficial, but it is evident from the outside looking in when someone is experiencing or behaving with me in a way that is mismanaging interactions together. They're starting to look and behave a lot more irritably, or they're avoiding interactions, or there's just a lot of drop balls, or what I would call communication disconnects. Slightly more serious than that are when I start to perceive that when I interact with them, there's just a lot of task mismanagement. They're forgetful. They have real difficulty concentrating on otherwise or historically common, mundane, routine tasks. It seems like they're experiencing a lot of intrusive thoughts or distractions, be they worry or paranoia or anger or sadness or anxiety or fear, whatever the case is. Perhaps they're even behaving in such a way that you start to feel like they're numb. Their level of awareness is minimized. They're depersonalizing. They're not really responding as a human like they used to in the past. It's as if they're going through life or their workday in a fog. The more grave sign of distress is self-mismanagement. So now we start to see the toll that stress is taking on their physicality, their physiology, beyond just their mentality or their interactions. They're overeating or undereating greatly. You're starting to perceive substance abuse or self-medication. They're sleepless. They're lethargic or sluggish, apathetic. You start to perceive just a depressive state in another person. Or they've articulated suicidal thoughts, or they're more aggressive or violent, period, or relative to their historic track record, a lot more. So at that point, it's obviously gotten into sort of an EAP region. But nevertheless, I hope that this starts to answer the question, at least in a partial way, what are the kinds of things I need to look for, not only in myself, but in coworkers?